Hi, my name is Shella Nathaniel and you're watching an Educator talk show. Today with me I've got somebody really inspiring. I think most of you guys may have seen his face as well. He's a very young, inspiring marketer that has been in the field for a couple years and happens to be a good friend of mine too, and I think this is going to be an interesting talk because I've never spoken to him in this sense. But yes, hi Yasith, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
So I would maybe tell them your introductory so they understand. You're the head of marketing of APIIT, and it's a pleasure to speak to you like this. So let's start a little bit about your personal background. We'd like to know you a little bit better. Who is Yasith Gamage and how would you want people to know you?
Well, a lot of people know me as a marketer as well as a racing car driver. So, well, I would say a racing car driver with a marketing background who promotes relevant programs of institutes, and then again through the racing also, and mainly a racing car driver.
So can you tell us a little bit about your family, like what they are doing and a little bit about them?
So I have an elder sister. She's presently in UK. So my mother and father both are entrepreneurs. So presently they are retired, enjoying the retirement. So yeah, pretty much. So I'm looking after whatever family businesses to family stuff also I'm looking after. So they are probably relaxed and enjoying.
Fantastic. So how did your family's upbringing impact your life? In terms of career, it could be also personal. How did that upbringing that you get, as a child, how is it more important for a kid? Maybe we can talk about that a little bit.
Well, I don't know whether this is good or bad, but I think it's good. I've never got a regulation or rules from my parents. From young ages, they had given me the freedom and freedom to do whatever I want, and whatever I have done, they've supported me. Whether it's right or wrong, they've always been there for me and supported me in relation to everything. So that actually helped me in relation to find my own thing, my own path, and they've been with me right throughout. So but they have not told me, oh, I want you to be a doctor or engineer or this or that. I had the full freedom to select whatever I want and pursue.
Do whatever you like.
Yeah.
So the next question, on a scale of 1 to 10, what kind of a support do you get from your wife? How does she support you?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
You do want to go back home today, right?
Yeah, I do. The thing is, she's actually supportive, but then there's a equal support from my end as well. So we both share work. I mean, she's an entrepreneur as well. So, and also she's working for an organization now. So we balance our stuff. Example, yesterday we couldn't have this chat. So today in the morning when I was rushing to office after dropping the baby to school, I gave her a call and asked her, okay, what is your day like today? What is your schedule? So I can adjust myself accordingly, like who's picking the son, all that. So then she was like, okay, I have this work, and then I said, okay, I have this stuff. Then I said, okay, accordingly we'll talk and get things done. So likewise, so even at home, if I'm home, if the house is messy, I will clean it up. If sometimes I'm tired, so I don't do anything, so she does it. It's perfectly balanced, I think. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say about 8. Could be better. So I would say
All
about
right.
8.
Fantastic. So we do hear that you can cook a bit, and maybe I would like to know what are the curries that or the dishes that you make, because we've never tasted any of those, but we hear that you can
Right.
cook.
So basically, I can't cook any curries. Right? Well, I might, but I have not tried. Of course, if there is an emergency that I have to cook, I can cook, a fried rice or a devil chicken or something like that, just to, please the appetite. But whoever who have eaten those have given me very good comments, and I like to test it. It's not that I follow a recipe or something. I just want to, think, okay, this might work, this might not work. So, yeah, I'm just experimenting it, and it has always worked. So, and I also like it, but I don't have the time to do this. That's the only issue. But I like, if I can, I like it, but I don't have the time.
So what is your school? Do you have any key people from your school that supported you to be the person whom you are today? Anyone that you have in mind, maybe that you can retaliate a little bit on?
So I started my school life from Trinity College. So I was in the hostel right throughout. So then in 1998, with the LTT bomb blast in Kandy, Dalda Maligawa, my parents didn't want me to keep there. So they took me back to Colombo. So my Trinity College career ended up in 1998. So from there onwards, I schooled at Royal Institute in Colombo. So there is okay, I want everything in slightly in a orderly manner, which I have got it from Trinity because I was in the hostel. There's a timetable that you have to follow, everything in order, what you have to do. I mean, I'm not saying OCD, but slightly, I would say also. So that I got it from Trinity, and I value that a lot. There is no one teacher that I could tell. There is a lot of guidance from a lot of teachers and masters. Royal Institute was a bit of a playbed. So I've had a lot of friends there, and even at Trinity. So Trinity, bit more serious friends. Royal Institute, it's all to do with fun and going out crowd. So it's a mixed school. So
you've had experience of both the ends.
yes. So
But which one would you prefer?
tough question. I like both actually. I like both actually.
Okay.
But I know for sure, if I was in Trinity, I wouldn't be this person. But with the combination, the output that I am is with the combination of two schools, I would say. Because the exposure I got from Royal Institute was much higher because I was involved with the Colombo crowd. Kandy, I'm stuck in a hostel. If you have to, do something, you have to go out of the college, so which is very difficult. So, but then again, every weekend I used to come to Colombo. My parents used to pick me up. But it was these two different cultures made who I am, I would say.
Can you tell us about your childhood, or maybe who you wanted to be? You actually said that you wouldn't have been this person if you were not in the mix. Maybe this question would also answer that.
So every time I got the vacation, or every Friday night I used to come to Colombo from Trinity, and every Sunday morning we leave back to Trinity. So during this time, my only passion was riding bicycles. So then when I came back to Colombo, this became more. So then I wanted to do stunts in bikes. So I was practicing those stuff, and well, we didn't have YouTube or anything. You just have to think and do.
So you wanted to do it as a career?
No. I was just enjoying these
Just
stuff.
wanted to do it, okay.
So I enjoyed the speed. So I would like to go down hills very fast, fall also in the meantime. So I used to have some good time as a kid, because nowadays kids, they are attached to phones or computers or iPads, they are not doing what we used to do back in the day. So coming back to Royal Institute, the clique of friends that I was hanging out, I still hang out with them, at least few. So with these set of people, I've had a good adventurous lifestyle, so we started driving at a very young age. Like I started driving on the road at around 10 years of age, so which is illegal, I know. But then again, this was what we used to do, and
it's a very dark secret.
Yeah, dark secret. So I was having a good time. So, but my parents used to tell me, don't get caught or don't do this, it's not good. But they never stopped me. They never hid the keys, and they didn't let me take the vehicles out. They didn't do that. And whenever I'm traveling with them, they used to let me drive, and so I enjoyed that. And then naturally I wanted to go fast, and then the G-force in me started coming out. So then I thought, okay, I'm going into a different thing, which is racing. So racing came naturally. None of my background, like my father, or I don't have a racing history. So my family doesn't have a racing history, but then it came with me.
With whatever you have seen
Yeah.
and experienced
Yeah.
and everything.
Then I started associating a lot of racing friends.
We'll talk about that. I think there is one question
Yeah.
that I'm just going to
Sure.
talk about, the subject that you like the
Okay.
most. Well, where are you at APIIT, and what is your job role? I know I already spoke about it, but maybe we'll like to hear it from you.
So I'm the head of marketing and business development at APIIT. So presently I'm enjoying my job. I like whatever I do. I want to enjoy. I mean, I'm not there to just do it and just do it for the sake of doing it. I don't do that. Whatever I do, I want to enjoy what I do. So I enjoy my job a lot.
So now maybe these three questions are going to be linked in some way. What do you do in your leisure time, and what are your hobbies? So I can already see you're talking about racing. So perhaps maybe we can talk a little bit more about why do you love racing? Why do you love the sport? I know it has come to a stage in Sri Lanka that it's now respected. It's it used to be a greasy collared lover that would actually walk into it, but it's also now respected in a very different angle. So tell us your experience and your racing career achievements that you have acquired up to now.
In 2016, I was the national champion as well as the club champion. That's tarmac, gravel and hill climb, all three. So that's something I've never expected, because I didn't go for racing in relation to wins or whatever. I wanted to enjoy my passion, right? So I was not after trophies. I was not after wins or podiums, but I just wanted to test myself, to enjoy myself. So in that, I think I've done a great job. So what I have learned, I think I've learned it the correct way. So when I go back to theory in racing, professional racing, sometimes I have learned that I'm doing it the exact similar way or slightly better in certain things. So racing is, I really enjoy it.
There's a lot of time that you need to put into that as well, right?
Yes, there is a lot of time that I need to put into that. But recently, after COVID, I didn't have the time to race much. That's restricted in the country also with the with the crisis we had, and also it's the world's most expensive sport, so you need to spend a lot of money. So presently I don't see a reason that I need to spend that amount of money for the passion, because there is so much of other activities that you can do. So presently I don't race these days, but I think I'll start from next year.
All right, I think
That's the plan.
I think then we'll see Yasith Gamage back on the track.
Of course. Not this year for sure. This year I have some other targets which I want to, achieve when it comes to my career, when it comes to APIIT. So I'm after those targets this year, but next year I'll be on the track.
Absolutely. So we're done with this segment, and I think we will meet Yasith Gamage back in the present and the future, and we'll get to know a little bit more about you. Welcome back. You're watching an Educator talk show, and I have Mr. Yasith Gamage with me. Feels a bit odd to call you Mr. But I
Please don't.
but I will stick to that. Well, so we are going to be talking about the present and the future, so which means we'll talk a little bit more about your professional side. So maybe we could start with, how did you get into the marketing industry and how did you become a marketer? Maybe tell us a little bit about your humble journey and how did you come this far?
Okay, I got into marketing industry with a good, I had a with a friend of mine's help, not help actually. So I was working in a bit of a project with Erath Karunaratne. He's the executive director of ACBT, and he was the country director for IDP back in the day. So at IDP, he wanted some help. So then accidentally he told me, can you get these things done? So I got those things done for him. So then he said, look, I think you're great in this stuff. Why don't you, come and work for me? So at that time I didn't want to work, but then he said, no, we are friends. Why don't you work for me? And that's how I started. So then he actually guided me. He told me certain things, helped me in relation to making decisions, in relation to marketing. And so then it was very easy for me to, I had my guidelines. So with those guidelines, I took decisions and I, executed it. And pretty much he was very happy. And then from while working for IDP, I was consulting for ACBT as well. So then in 2013 or 12, I think, he had to give up IDP, and then we were full-time working for ACBT. 2014, I believe, we were full-time working for ACBT. So that's where, even at IDP, we grew numbers. ACBT did the same, and worked with him for 11 years and learned a lot from him. So that's where my marketing career started. So hats off to him. I'm here now with a lot of knowledge from him.
Right. So when you're a marketer, there comes a lot of challenges embedded in it. There are different kind of challenges that come in and out. Tell us, how did you overcome it? And you said that you worked for about 11 years, and then if we plus the years that you're really working right now as well, there's a lot of experience under your belt. how do you how do you overcome all of these challenges, and how do you really foresee a particular target, and then how do you just strike, because you can't make mistakes. You're not given the chance to make mistakes as the head of marketing. How do you do that?
Small correction there. Nobody's perfect. So we all have the freedom to make mistakes. My team has the freedom to make mistakes, but we can't repeat the mistake.
I mean, that's how the outer world sees, is what I'm saying,
Yeah. So
you're not afford to make mistakes, is what they
I'm
think.
happy to say I have not made mistakes. I might have been making wrong decisions sometimes, but I've always been corrected because I don't work individually. I don't make decisions. Oh, I need to do this. This is how it's been done, and I want to execute it in this way. I've never done that way. I've always taken a collective of decisions, but main decision is mine. So around it, people can say, okay, this is right, maybe wrong, maybe shall we do this. So I've always spoken to people and asked, okay, what do you think? People have given me negative comments or positive comments, but I've always taken good side of it and executed. So mistakes are minimal. Even if it is a mistake, it's a collectively taken and decided mistake. So that's where the difference is. A lot of people, when you're the head of marketing, you don't speak to others, you think you know it all. There is nothing called know it all. It's about a collective decision. So we all can own it at the end of the day when we achieve it. So in my career, that's how I do, and it's fun then. It's a teamwork. It's not about, oh, Yasith Gamage did it. I don't like to brand myself like that.
You want to take it as a team.
Yeah, it's always a teamwork. It's at the end of the day, even if I give a decision to somebody, that person has done his own thing, and I don't want to put it under my belt. You
don't want to harp about
yeah.
it. That's fantastic. That's a good thought. Tell us maybe a bit of, in your opinion, what are the skills that you need to be someone like you, let's say, to go out there to the corporate world today. It takes a set of skills. Studying stuff from a book is something else to what you learn from outside. In your opinion, what are those skills?
You are asking in relation to somebody who wants to be inspired.
Yes. To be someone like you.
It's very simple. How I have put myself here is, okay, in the industry I am in, I have a lot of competitions and competitors. So I don't look at those people as competitors or competition, because I really don't care for their numbers or their performance. I care for mine. So I set the number and I want to achieve the number, and I'm after the number with my full team. Once I achieve it, I know I'm happy about it, because next time I raise my bar again. I always set my own goal and I always achieve it. So I'm not running the race or competing with other institutes. Just like a car race, when I get into the car, I want to put the best out of me. I don't want to beat anybody on the track. So same way, same principles apply for this. I want to push myself, achieve something, and then beat that the next time. It's always beating my own thing. It's not about beating anybody else or challenging anybody else.
Not about competition.
No, competition is within me. So if I can beat myself every time, I've brought a better version out of me all the time. So that should be the case.
What are the strategies you use to build a brand awareness it could also be an engagement with your particular crowd. I know that you do a lot of work to reach the right target market.
Now, Shala, you're asking the secret of the recipe. So
Maybe tell us a little bit, no? I mean, like just a bit.
It's basically me to know and you to find out.
Okay. So we'll.
If you ask some stuff, you know, it's all about making a collective decision. It's all about what target audience you want to reach, how you want to reach, and what money you can spend for that reach, and is it effective? Is it worth? You know. So it's a combination. It's not the typical marketing mix, you know, that the theory book says. You know, it's not the typical marketing mix. The marketing mix is also needed, but now world is changing, so your game is changing.
So how do you measure the success of your marketing campaigns and just them if they are, you know, let's say that they are failing? How do you optimize the performance?
The audience that we are dealing with is changing every 3 months. Every 3 months they are updated. So we have to be up on the game to reach those audience. This is where a lot of people make the mistake. They have a campaign for the whole year and they run it, you know, for the whole year. You know, it's not the story. You have to be updated. You have to be changing.
My next question was about that.
Okay, I'm answering to your other question. So you have to change. You have to evolve. You know, you have to evolve all the time.
So the next question was, how do you stay updated, and how do you, you know, walk into trends and then look at the developments in your field, and what do you do, and how can you actually advise somebody as good as you?
So the real answer for that question is we are inside a, you know, a tank of we are in a pond, you know. So we have to come out of this pond, which means we have to travel, we have to visit universities, we have to see their strategies that they are using, we have to be exposed, right? Because how other universities recruit around the world and how they reach their audience, and how, you know, if you just cut and paste, it doesn't work. You have to fine tune it according to our market, and then bring the good and bad. You have to weigh the good and bad, and accordingly it should suit us, to our culture, to all that, and, you know, be updated in relation to everything around the world.
Right. I'm not going to let you talk a lot because then a lot of these things are going to come out. Next question. How do you have work and passion? How do you have a balance in between them?
Work and
Passion.
passion.
With your passion. In the right sense.
Yes. So presently,
Like you
my
said,
passion is in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I want to, you know, use my passion, it's just wherever from point A to point B, you know, or whether it's a road, I mean, it's wrong, but then again, you know, whether it's a road or a track, it doesn't care for me actually. So whenever I want to drive fast, or whenever I have that need, I've always done it, whether there is my family with me, but I don't take risks. I do take risks, but it's actually very calculated. So work, how do I balance? So when it comes to work, I give more priority to my work. So whenever in between, if I have to go from here to there, I, you know, enjoy that, you know. But then when it comes to racing, it's a, you know, weekend. It's never on the weekdays, so it's on the weekend. So maybe a couple of days off, and then, you know, you're on the track. But still, I mean, I still remember whenever I go for any racing, still my phone is with me. If there's anything, I mean, outside the track, I always speak to office and get things done. I mean, as long as I have the phone with me.
Technology.
Yeah, my work in office has never been a problem.
So tell me maybe an advice, the last question is, to a fresh marketer that's come into the industry, what would be your advice other than whatever you said?
Again, if you have the passion, go for it and raise your bar. You need to raise your bar. You need to set your target, achieve your target, and don't give up. Each product is different. If you're a marketer, you need to know your product. You need to know your strengths and weaknesses in your product. Just go after it, and you can achieve it, but make sure that you set your own target, not the target that the company gives or whatever. It should be genuine, it should be ethical, and you need to push yourself.
We are towards the end of this segment, and we will meet Yasith Gamage in the next segment, which is you don't know what you're in for. Okay. So, and I don't know what he's in for too, so we'll find out. Welcome back to an Educator talk show, and we have Mr. Yasith Gamage with me. Now we will throw him into a box which is right here. There are questions that even I don't know. Some of these questions, you can answer if you like, but we prefer that you answer. So they're just going to be one-liners and quick, whatever comes to your head. So I'll allow you to pick. Wow, that's a long question. Okay, if someone paid your living expenses for 1 year, what will you do with your free time?
What would you do?
Someone is paying all your bills.
Still, I would work. Still, definitely.
Free time.
Free time, I'll go for a swim in a beach.
Okay, the next one. What's the craziest thing on your bucket list?
Craziest thing. Craziest thing. I've done a lot of crazy things in my life.
I'm pretty sure you have more.
Craziest thing that I have to do, no? In the future. My God. I could have answered this if I was not married. Craziest thing. Okay, let's keep it simple. Bungee jumping.
Okay, right. So your third one. Name a person whom you love the most in your life.
My son, Theon.
That's your fourth. What was the last gift you gave to your wife?
Last gift was on Valentine's Day. I gave her a diamond and a ruby ring. So, yeah, that was her last gift.
Fifth. What person in your life had the most impact on you and how?
Again, I think I can say it's my son. Because he has done a lot to our lives, to change a lot of things in our life. So, yeah, I think I would say my son. But although he's small, he has his own attitude, and he wants things done in his way, and he has changed a lot, I mean, in relation to a lot of decisions and all that. But that's me taking my love side towards him. But if we put it in another way, It's also somebody who I really inspire. That's actually Mr. Roshane Godage. He had made a massive impact in the recent past, for the past 2 years, I believe. He have inspired me a lot to a better version of me, which I never thought I had.
Okay. You take, I think this is your 6th, if I'm not mistaken. What's the worst thing you ever did as a kid and got away with? I'm pretty sure you have plenty stories. Maybe we can share
The
one.
worst thing I can't tell you.
Okay. And you
Right.
got away with?
Because yeah, I've got away anyway. There's couple of worst things that I've done. Any of those things I can't tell you in front of a camera.
Okay, okay. So we'll omit that question.
Yeah.
This is the last one. What show on Netflix did you binge watch embarrassingly fast?
Embarrassing.
Embarrassingly fast, like just watched, one after another and just maybe had that couch life for that week or something.
Gotham, the series Gotham.
Okay, right. So I think that was the last card that we picked with you. It was lovely having you on the show, and it was
Likewise.
great putting you in this chair to understand you even better, and I wish you all the best for your career. So that was an Educator talk show with Mr. Yasith Gamage, and we will meet again next time with someone else on the seat, and yeah, until then, take care.